What if I told you everything you've been taught about morality is a lie? That kindness, fairness, and honesty, everything you were told makes you strong, precisely what makes you weak. You've seen it throughout history. Ruthless men rise, kind men fall. The cunning win, the naive lose. But why? Is evil simply stronger than good? Or is there something we refuse to accept about the nature of power? To understand why evil wins, we must turn to Friedrich Nietzsche, one of history's most radical and misunderstood thinkers. Most of us are raised with the comforting belief that good always triumphs over evil, that justice prevails, that if you're honest, kind, and fair, success will follow. It's a beautiful idea. But here's the problem: it's a fairy tale. Nietzsche saw through this lie. He called it slave morality. Slave morality teaches you to be humble, obedient, and self-sacrificing. Why? Because it was created by the weak to control the strong. Think about it. Who benefits when the powerful feel guilty for using their power? Who gains when the strong are taught to hold themselves back? Look at history. The Romans, driven by strength and dominance, built an empire that shaped civilization. But Christianity emerged with a radical new idea that the meek shall inherit the earth, that suffering is virtuous, and that power is sinful. And what happened? The Roman Empire fell, and Christianity conquered hearts and minds. Nietzsche saw this as a masterful trick for the powerless to make the robust feel ashamed of their nature. He wrote, everywhere the weak are on the move, seeking to undermine the strong with their morality, to pull them down to their level. Now, here's the part that makes people uncomfortable. Nietzsche didn't believe in good vs evil. He believed in power vs weakness. In nature, does the lion feel guilty for killing the gazelle? Does the wolf apologize for being strong? No. Because nature doesn't reward kindness, it rewards dominance. The same is true in human society. The ones who rise are those who embrace power, not those who deny it. Throughout history, the most substantial figures, the ones who shaped the world, did not follow the rules of morality. They played by the rules of power. Nietzsche called these individuals the Übermensch or Overman, those who rise above conventional morality and create their values. And what about the others? The ones who cling to traditional morality, believing that fairness and virtue alone will protect them? Nietzsche had a name for them too, the last men. The last men are the people who choose comfort over greatness, who fear to struggle, reject ambition, and settle for mediocrity. They tell themselves they are good but are simply afraid. Nietzsche described them as follows. What is love? What is creation? What is longing? What is a star? Thus asks the last man and blinks. They are the people who would rather be comfortable than powerful, trade freedom for security, shrink from struggle, and call it virtue. This is why good people lose. They don't understand the true nature of power. They believe playing fair will protect them, but power belongs to those who seize it. In the corporate world, is it the kindest person who becomes CEO, or the one who knows how to navigate power? In politics, is it the most honest leader who wins, or the one who knows how to manipulate public perception? But here's where it gets even worse. Not only do good people lose, but they also serve the ones who exploit them. How? Because they allow themselves to be ruled. The meek don't inherit the earth, they work for those who do. But the truth is even darker than you think. It's not just that the robust rise, it's that the weak willingly submit. People don't just tolerate injustice, they crave authority. They surrender to it. They make excuses for the people who exploit them because it's easier than confronting the brutal reality. They don't want freedom, they want safety. This is why history repeats itself. Why do people bow to corrupt leaders, follow blind ideologies, and let others dictate the game's rules? They claim to be moral, but fear taking responsibility for their power. Nietzsche believed that most people deceive themselves about morality. They claim to follow virtue, but in reality, they fear the responsibility of power because power is terrifying. It demands risk, confrontation, and taking control of one's life instead of waiting for fairness to save one. This is why so many people reject Nietzsche's ideas. Accepting them means accepting that there is no divine justice, no moral safety net, and no guarantee that goodness will be rewarded. And that is a terrifying realization. But Nietzsche didn't write for the weak. He wrote for those willing to hear the truth. He said, one must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. In other words, true greatness comes not from avoiding struggle but from embracing it. And here's where Nietzsche's philosophy becomes truly dangerous. If morality is just a construct and fairness is a myth, what stops the ruthless from taking everything? If the world belongs to the strong, then where does that leave the rest? Are we doomed to be ruled by those without conscience? This moral dilemma weakens most people to fear that power is corrupt. But Nietzsche had a response to this fear. Power alone is not the enemy. It is how you wield it that defines you. The Overman doesn't seek power for destruction, he seeks it for creation. He builds, innovates, and dominates not for cruelty, but because to deny power is to deny life itself. So, what's the solution? Does this mean you should abandon morality entirely and become ruthless? Not necessarily. Nietzsche wasn't saying to be evil. He was saying to stop being naive. To recognize that morality is not a shield. That power is not evil, it's a tool. Stop believing that goodness alone will protect you. Strength and strategy matter. Learn to navigate power. The world is not fair. Understand the rules of influence. Create your values. Stop letting society dictate what's right for you. Nietzsche's message isn't that you must be cruel. It's that you must be strong. That you must rise above false morality and claim your power. He challenged us. Behold, I teach you the Overman. Man is something that shall be overcome. The question is, are you willing to claim your strength? Or will you let the world rule you? Now you have a choice. You can continue believing the comforting lie that goodness alone is enough. Or you can embrace the hard truth that power shapes the world. Nietzsche's philosophy forces us to confront the fact that we are not entitled to fairness. Morality is often a tool of control, and power is available only to those willing to take it. And that most people will never dare to claim it. So I'll ask you again, are you ready to wake up? Or will you remain asleep?